This is an absolute joke to me. So the man hired by a Guyana police force to come in and do an independent review, apparently, Leonard McCoshen, who was the retired Canadian police officer, he has praised Guyana police work in the Adrianna Younge case and has found no evidence of foul play at all. Bear in mind he was there for a couple of days and says that he has done a thorough investigation. Now, he said that video surveillance and multiple witness accounts confirms that Bola, a person of interest named in public speculation, was not present at the Doubleday Hotel or on the premises on the 23rd of April 2025 during the time that Adrianna went missing. Now, this is obviously the picture also of son Bola at the pool at the exact time Adrianna went missing. And we know these photos have been readily available online for weeks now, and yet he says that his findings, with 30 years of investigative experience, showed him that Bola wasn't on the premises. Now, I'm not claiming to be any kind of genius at all, but I would say that photos prove that son was on the scene at the time that Adrianna went missing, because we have photos of him stood near the pool, and then we know from the footage yesterday that was released by the other family who were at the pool, shows that at the time that Adrianna went missing was when son went missing. So we can just already know exactly what kind of investigation Mr. McCoshen has done, which is basically go over there and sit down with the Guyana police force and make a game plan and then try to release that as his findings. Now, anyone with any kind of intelligence at all would know that to do a thorough investigation of the Adrianna Younge case is going to take you months. Not only would you have to interview every single person at the scene that day, you would have to look through all the live footage, the hours of surveillance taken from loads of different people's cameras. You would also have to speak to the family extensively, the family members who were there with her that day, and he was there for about 3 days investigating. So it's just a joke at this point. I just wanted to quickly make this video because I was just sat here thinking to myself, and yesterday was so emotional, but we were all so tired, right? Because we'd been up for so many hours, and the day before we'd been up, collecting money and stuff. So we were all so tired. But can we just take a second to think about what massive news this is? What this actually says about everything that happened. Like, what this means for Guyana. Like, to have doctors and the president and all of those people trying to say that she just drowned and that they had absolute proof that she just drowned. It wasn't forcible drowning. Like, all the lies they told, like she was always in the pool, like all of that. Do you know how massive it is? Especially for Adrianna, for her family, but for Guyana as well, to actually finally be able to see, like, everyone was being gaslit, like everyone was being absolutely controlled, and anyone who tried to speak out was threatened with terrorism charges. Like, this is massive. And I've always covered this case for the one belief that I believe Adrianna can change the whole world. I believe she fully can have justice. And I believe it was a massive, massive step towards that yesterday. And I hope today I'm going to be able to bring you more good news as well. And over the next couple of days, we're going to get a real picture of why exactly this pathologist from Georgia has said that this needs to be a full criminal investigation. Hi guys. So when it comes to Adrianna and her second autopsy, I'm sorry it's taken me a while to post. It's all been very emotional. So we had this yesterday. Travis Chase posted this. I would be very reluctant to determine that Adrianna Younge drowned. This calls for a thorough criminal investigation, says the Chief Medical Examiner of Gwinnett County Office. So basically she's saying that it would be almost impossible for her to just say it was drowning, because it is a process of exclusion when you come to drowning. And that tells you that there was other things she had seen that she couldn't exclude to make it a drowning case. However, we don't have a lot of further information. Now, she did say there was no marks of trauma. I wish Travis had gone into more depth with her, kind of asking about the marks on her skin. But then we don't know what's going to come out today. I have just messaged the legal team and said, is there no cause of death, manner of death, or time of death? They said they'll get back to me on that. So I'm just hoping that there's going to be something today that gives us like more of an in-depth look into why she said it should be a criminal investigation. Because from what I got from the interview with her, she was kind of saying, like, based on what she'd been told around the circumstances. And I was really hoping there would be some evidence on Adrianna's body that would make it a scientific fact. And I know you guys are probably all hoping the same. So I really hope today for some more good news. And, you know, God is great. And obviously we did see a real miracle over the last couple of days with the way that everyone came together to raise money and then for the autopsy to take place. And just the fact that Adrianna's in America and so many things are happening, I just think we need to keep positive and just hope for the best.
Did you guys see the treatment that the family was given while they're waiting for the autopsy. Do you see the contrast? Oh my God. In Guyana, when they were waiting for the autopsy, they had to wait in the hospital compounds or in the yard of the Georgetown Hospital. But they've been given such a big conference room in America. They've been given a conference room so they can relax. They can, be themselves and just be relaxed and be in a suitable environment that is conducive to receiving or waiting, not to be out in the different atmosphere, So that is also something that I noticed. It's like there's a big contrast in the way they're treated in Guyana and the way they're treated in America.
The Guyana Police Force has reported that retired Canadian homicide investigation expert Leonard McCoshen has found no evidence of foul play in the death of 11-year-old Adrianna Younge. McCoshen was brought into Guyana by the government to assist local investigators probing the child's death. In a statement last night, the Guyana Police Force, while offering a few details on the investigation done by Mr. McCoshen, said its findings were consistent with the final post-mortem report conducted in Guyana, which concluded that the child died by drowning. The Guyana Police Force has stated that the death of the 11-year-old Adrianna Younge has been officially ruled a drowning, with no signs of foul play, according to the final post-mortem report, which the force said was submitted on Tuesday by the 3 foreign pathologists who conducted the autopsy 3 weeks ago. The police report on the final findings of the autopsy came ahead of the second autopsy, which is being done in the U.S. The child's remains were flown out of Guyana on Monday for that second autopsy. But even with that taking place, the Guyana Police Force, in its statement last night, said the certified findings from the autopsy confirmed that Adrianna Younge's death was consistent with drowning, and there was no evidence of trauma, assault, or any other criminal activity found. The police said all concerns about the child's death were taken seriously and fully investigated in collaboration with forensic experts. According to the police, a comprehensive post-mortem examination, including toxicology and DNA testing, was carried out, with the key findings being no signs of acute injury or trauma. Additionally, the toxicology results showed ethanol levels consistent with post-mortem decomposition, according to the police. The police said there was also no evidence of any type of sexual assault. The police said the probe also found that the child's skin and airway changes were in line with prolonged submersion and drowning, and there was no evidence of restraint, struggle, removal, and return of the body. The pathologist, the police said, concluded that Adrianna Younge drowned, likely sank to the bottom of the pool, and later surfaced due to natural decomposition processes common in tropical climates. Police detectives are to submit their file on the investigation to the Director of Public Prosecutions for advice. Adrianna Younge was found dead in the pool of the Doubleday Hotel at Tushin 1 day after she was reported missing at the same location back in April. Initially, the police had claimed that it was in receipt of video evidence that showed the young girl leaving the hotel in a car. However, the police later admitted that the information was false. The discovery of the child's body led to widespread protests for several days. The girl's family had rejected the preliminary findings of the first post-mortem and opted to get a second opinion. When a Trinidadian pathologist couldn't get a clearance from the medical board to conduct the second autopsy in Guyana, the family made the decision to fly the remains to the U.S. and have the second autopsy done there.